not good. And so what happens is when we have mountaintops experience, and I'm just going to tell it the way it is, it knocks us off our square. Right, Jackie?
That's
So
right. That's
we
right.
don't even see it coming. We don't even see it coming. I had a sister friend of mine just recently. She got sick. We didn't see it coming as a family. We didn't see it coming as, close friends. We just did not see it coming at all. And so with that being said, we really, really, really had a hard time with it all. We had a hard time with it all. We didn't know how to get through with this particular situation that we have. And then one of the things our daughter said, do you have a closet? Can I go to the closet? And that made all the difference in the world. And that's how sister to sister really began, with a mountaintop experience. Something that I didn't see coming, something that I didn't see coming, something that I really couldn't discuss, something that I cried about every day. It was just an experience that took me for a loop. And like I said, that's the reason why I began Sister to Sister, because I felt as though this particular person that I just loved to the moon and back, this is a sister girlfriend that remembered every birthday.
That is so true.
Isn't it true? Because
that is so
we
true.
share that together. Right. She would even tell you when your grandchildren's birthday,
yes,
you didn't even remember. Yes. And then you call your daughter up and you say, well, wait a minute, when is the baby's birthday? And then she tells it, well,
I know it's real, and then that's in that situation, you felt that God's presence was real. It's just like that was just real. You got him, all of him. Yes. You needed all of him to be able to process what had happened.
Yeah.
Right? Everything.
Yeah.
You needed him for that, because it became very real. It became very real.
Yeah. And it lets me know that life is fast and fleeting. Mm-hmm. Whatever God called you to do, we need to be doing it now, because life is not promised to any of us. Mm-hmm. And so we have to answer the call of God right now, right where you stand, because we don't know where sickness lies or death lies. We know that we're here today, but we don't know about tomorrow. We don't know what goes for us, But the Lord said that He will be with us always. And so that's one of the things that we have to remember. So Jackie, let's talk about mountaintops experience.
Well, I'm going to tell you, it definitely will open up your eyes. It opens up your eyes to, what's real, and just perhaps those experiences could be, depression would bring you to a mountaintop experience. Anger, anger is another. Some people are very, very angry. They're people that, they can go from 0 to whatever right now. So there's so many things that even just being confused and being, addiction can bring you there. Right. Addiction.
Right. Right. So let me ask you this, Jackie. How do we get over those mountaintop experiences?
Ooh, that's very difficult. For me, mine hit when I had not only, this is a recent one that I share with you, but I'm going to go back a little bit and talk about the whole ideal behind self-care, because I had no clue what that was like, what self-care was all about. I thought I was, like doing okay. You find me, you're just like, oh, well, she's walking or she's traveling or she's doing, she's at the pool doing Zumba workouts and all. So, you would think that I was taking care of myself in those kinds of with those activities, but I really, really wasn't. I did not know what self-care was until I got a chance to go serve in Denver at a Joy Brigade. It was a retreat for women. And I had no idea, just sitting there. I said, okay, the bottom line about this is that nobody ever showed me how to take care of myself. Nobody showed me what that looked like. My mother worked all the time. She worked and she helped everybody, everybody looked to her. And she took care of everybody else. So I saw myself in that same, being an educator and taking care of children in the classroom. And I saw myself walking that same line of not being able to care for me until I went to that retreat to find out that, wow, there were a lot of women in the same situation that I was in who were needing to have some type of a retreat or just a way to get away to take care of yourself.
Right. And you know what? We as women, like you said, we take care of everybody else, but we just don't think to take care of ourselves.
Yep.
So here we feel as though we can go like an energizer bunny, like on and on and on. And we feel as though it's just not going to keep up, catch up with us until we get to the realization is that, I'm sick, I'm not feeling well, I really don't understand what's going on, but what's really going on, I mean, you've done one thing after another thing, after another thing, after another thing, after another thing, and really haven't taken time for self-care.
No, not at all.
We're grown children.
Yeah.
We work, we take care of husbands, relationships, all of these kinds of things, but we just don't take care of ourselves, which is not healthy. Which is not a healthy situation. So
yeah, that's true. Because you have to put on your own as they say, really oxygen mask first. And I said that about you, as far as you discovered that you needed one. I need something. And I think that's something that is so necessary for people to come to that conclusion that I am needing something. This is not working. I mean, I've hit a wall. I've hit a wall and I need support. And that's where I think that's why this group is just has been so nurturing for you and for me and anybody else who is looking for that kind of support.
Yeah. You know what? You hit it on the money when I created this group. And I'm just gonna tell y'all, it was about me. I needed somebody to help me. I needed somebody to see me and see what I was going through and say, hey, sis, it's going to be okay. This happened today, but your joy will come in the morning. It doesn't stop here. And so with that being said, helping somebody else meant the world to me. Meant the world to me. Everybody can't do this, and I understand it. And everybody is not called to do that. But when you have a mountaintop experience, sometimes you need a sister girlfriend to say that I'm here for you. I will stand in the gap for you. I'll pray for you. I'll help you. This too shall pass.
I see you.
That's it.
You said that. I see you. And that's what I found in these women at the retreat. Everybody, I see you. Your story is important. You are worthy of self-care. You are worthy. You don't have to ask for anybody's permission to take care of yourself. Yeah. You don't, unapologetically, because if you do not take care of yourself, you can't take care of anybody else.
You can't take care of anybody else because all your strength has gone into that one situation. And you know what? Finally, when you go through these mountaintop experience in life, I was talking to someone the other day, and this person is sick. But this person is constantly going, every time I call the person on the phone, they're like, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm doing this. I couldn't really even get a conversation in because this person was always doing something. And now they're sick and they understand that self-care is important. And sometimes God allows us to be laid flat on our backs where we can do nothing. And that's when we can hear God the most. Do we want to get to that point? No, we don't want to get to that point, but sometimes God will allow us to get to that point for us to say, I need to stop here. I need to slow it down.
Yeah. And he modeled it so well. We have these beautiful mountains behind us, but he modeled that because he would go, where'd he go? Up to the mountain. And he'd go there. Where'd he go there for? He didn't just go there just hanging out. He would go up there so that he could have that quiet time, that quiet space. Yeah. And see, that's something that we don't know how to do. I did not know how to rest. Matter of fact, you talk about a nap. I'm just like, a nap? Oh, I don't need a nap. Nap for what? I mean, naps for lazy people. And I'm like, where did I pick that up? And I did not say it like that. But I did not nap until I went to that retreat and I found out that there was a nap ministry. And that's very, very important. You have to get your rest.
Right.
You have to get your rest.
Yeah, and the thing about it is, I want to get back to something that you just said. I think people have to learn that because, as we were growing up in the 50s, baby boomers, we had this thing of it. I think our parents taught us this, that we had to work.
Mm-hmm.
A man that doesn't work doesn't eat. And so
I think you got something. Yeah.
Right. We had to work all the time. So it wasn't a thing of rest, because if you rest, you were going to miss something. You were going to that next rent for your rent. You're going to miss that next change that you may get to pay a light bill or the phone bill or whatever. So you kept moving. So I think when you think about a period of rest, that was not ingrained or instilled in us.
No. And that's so big as far as self-care. It's really big, where you see somebody, you see it modeled, somebody who is just continuously working and grinding. Well, you go through that. That's what you know how to do that. I know how to work. I know how to grind. I know that, you have some people who have not just one job, 2, 3 jobs, and they feel like that's what they're supposed to do. Of course, they're trying to make ends meet, but, never, ever taking any time out to rest, it's not healthy. It's just not healthy.
When you even take this back to the Bible, and you think about the Bible, on the 7th day, God rests. There was a resting period in there. And so God, pushes us to rest, to take a woosah moment, because what's ever going on, it's going to be going on when you take the woosah moment. And when you're over the woosah moment, it's still going to be going on. So God allows us a period of rest and relaxation. And so these are the things that we have to do.
Mm-hmm.
We have to take care of ourselves in order to take care of somebody else.
Yeah.
In order to take care of somebody else. And so how did you get through, Jackie, your mountaintop experience?
Well, just going and participating. I made a decision. That I was going to, and matter of fact, I almost missed out because I received an email that I was selected to be on this, to serve on this committee. And for some reason I did not check that. When I finally checked the email, it was past the deadline. Okay. And they were like, "Oh, you've been selected." I'm like, "Oh, I just blew that." I just blew that. So then when I called and they were still waiting, I said, "That's God." They were like, "No, we've been waiting. All you have to do, we got everything taken care of. You just need to get a flight here." And I'm like, "Okay, well, that was kind of easy because I still have I'm a travel business owner. So I just booked my own ticket and, round trip ticket. And I went there. And that's when I discovered all the things. I discovered a lot of things. There were some fears and worries and things that I was dealing with, that when I went there, I was able to gather that strength with other sisters and just say, "Oh, wow, you're not alone. There are a lot of other people that are in this same old boat," and one in particular that she was determined that she wasn't going to go on this retreat because she needed hip surgery. So she had this cane and she said she didn't really want to deal with it. And then her friends told her, "Hey, if you go to the station, wherever you go, we will carry you so that you can make this trip." And she happened to be, name is Carrie. She was my roommate when I was there. And I watched her because she was really breaking some fear because she was afraid to fly. That was one, the flying thing was not her. She was afraid of heights. And we were up here in the mountains like that. So she had a lot of fears that she had to work through. Plus, she said she was an introvert. So she didn't really like being around a lot of people. So she had some things that she needed to work on. And then going to that retreat and discovering that she could count on other people. And I'm going to tell you what happened with her. By the time she left that retreat, she left that cane up there too. She left her cane and she was walking. She was walking without that cane.
Wow.
So that did so much for her. I mean, I saw her, and like I said, she would love to come and just tell you her share her story herself. But that I saw, and I asked her, I said, what was it? What did it for you? And she says, just the support, just being around like-minded people, was what you talked about earlier.
Yes, 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 yes. And I want to piggyback off of that, because sometimes, and I think I wrote a blog about it this morning, being around like-minded people will push you to where you need to be. Because a lot of times we'll stay there right in the corner, woe is me, but when you have a Jackie that comes up to you and say, girl, you can do it. I'm going to help you. I'm going to push you. I'm going to be there for you. I'm going to help you meet these needs. You cannot stay there in the corner, lay down, ball up, and do because this is not of God. And sometimes we have to have a come to Jesus moment, and we have to be real. And I think I put a post out there. We need to be real. We need to tell our sister girlfriends the truth. We even sometimes maybe they can't handle the truth, but at the same time, we need to hear it.
Yeah, that's true. I like that come to Jesus moment.
Yeah,
that's exactly what that experience is, because like I said, he gets real. He will reveal himself to you.
Right. He will, and especially in these mountaintop experiences, we don't
know
have
who he is.
To go over, roll over, lay in the corner, die, and woe is me, because life is still moving on. So we need to be able to roll with it, move with it, go with it, because God wouldn't have allowed it. I'm gonna say it again. God wouldn't have allowed it if he didn't know that you can get through it.
That's true. That's true. So I was just pleased to hear Carrie talk about the fact that she likes being around people now, that, she going places and flying doesn't bother her anymore. She's not worried about that anymore. And she's walking even more, just feeling a lot better. So, but you have to go to that point. You have to get to that mountain top, that point in life to know, to get some guidance and to know exactly what it is. Where should I do? And ask questions, pray about it and just get some clarity on where you're going. What is this? Why did you have this mountaintop experience anyway? Where is it going to take you to?
You know what? That's a mouthful. Why do we have, I want you ladies to know, we have mountaintop experiences predicated on who we are. God allows us to have different mountaintop experiences based on what he's trying to do in our life. That's a mouthful. That's a mouthful. And we have to go with the flow, or we can lay over in the corner and say, woe is me, or we can get up, rise up, get up, step up, because that's where God wants us to be. He wouldn't allow it to happen if he didn't think that we can get over it or through it or knock it down. It is something about us that God knows that we're beautifully, wonderfully, and fearfully made. We are awesome women of God, but sometimes we don't think that we are. Now that's a mouthful.
Yeah, it is.
We don't think that we are, but it's those experiences, Jackie, that we go through in life that make us the women that we are today. We have to remember that.
That's true.
Because
that's true. That's
when we think about your girlfriend. I mean, she went through it and she came out. What did you say? She was on a cane or something like that?
Yeah.
And she was walking after that because she got empowered.
And that's one, like I said, that's one. We have so many. I know one powerful one was when my oldest daughter, we didn't know what was going on with her. And we had to do some researching on her. She was aching and not feeling good. And we're just like, okay, so we took a little time off work and we just couldn't get any answers from the doctors in town. So we're like, okay, we're going to go to Baltimore. We'll go to the main hospital, John's. So we took that long drive, and it's like you were driving up a mountaintop. You just like on that, just, you put it in cruise, and it was like the longest trip ever, just because our mind was heavy. We're just trying to figure out what is going on with this child. Is this, you know, what's going to happen. And then after getting there, and they did their test, and they're like, okay, we're going to have to, you know, definitely diagnose something so that we can prescribe. And they ended up diagnosing her with lupus. And that just, you know, that was a mountaintop experience, because see, we really feel like we are in control when it comes to our kids. And we have to make sure that we know that those kids are God's kids. Amen. That he can do far more than I can ever do, you know. Amen. And so that and that was a place in our lives that, you know, I remember it like yesterday. And when I look at her and this same child who has made so many leaps and bounds, I see what God has done in her life. And she is the new author today. She's the one who just wrote a book, and it dropped today. So I know that those experiences, you know, he didn't bring us through those experiences for nothing, because I become a stronger person, you know, because of it, you know.
Yes, yes. And sometimes we have to go through those experiences to get us to the other side, because there's no way, you know, that we would have gotten through it. So sometimes we have to go through experiences that don't make us feel good, that makes us feel out of the comfort zone, you know, and especially our babies. When it's our babies, we go the distance, you know, we do whatever it takes, but sometimes God allows us to do nothing but pray.
Yes. Yes. And that's sort of where we are right now. We are in the war room, and we are on our knees, and we are trusting and believing in all situations, and no matter what comes up, you know, we're still going to have the faith to believe that, you know, in God, hey, he's already handled, he's already taken care of it, you know?
Yeah. And I think, you know what for me, when you go through those mountaintop experiences, you get to a place where you say, yes, God, I'll go. You're not the same woman, the same man, the same person that you were before. Once you go through a mountaintop experience, it changes your life forever. It changes the way you look at things.
Yeah.
It changes the way you even look at yourself. Because these are things that you didn't think that you could handle, but God already knew, you know, what you were going to do with that thing, what you were going to do
already. Yes.
Already.
That's really good. That's good.
That's some good stuff. So God had already knew, he already gave it to you, because you can handle it. You can handle it, whether you want to go. You know what? Nobody wants to feel a certain way. Nobody wants to go through really anything. They don't want their children to go through. They don't want to.
No, of course not.
We don't want to go through nothing. We don't want to, because it's easier not to. But think about it. The lessons you learn from the going through and the coming out.
Yeah.
Without the test, there would be no testimony. There would be no saying that I came in here with a wheelchair, now I'm walking out on my own. You know, there would be no crutches, because see, we have crutches. We have crutches, are things that probably we feel that as though we need things that, you know, if I don't have them, I won't be able to do this or that. But one of the things we have to understand, that God is everything we need. He made us wonderfully, beautifully, and fearfully made. Once we understand that, then we go from glory to glory. It is nothing that will be able to stop us. We will be unstoppable and unmovable.
And you know, your walk is different. Your walk is different. Yeah, your walk is different. You know, your talk and everything, the confidence that you need to get through. Because you know, this is you know, we got a broken world that we're living in today. It's pretty broken, but you know, through the brokenness, you can still have joy in God. You know, he can still give you that joy, you know, despite.
And see, despite of the things that we're going in, we still have joy. We still praise God. Do I stop praising God because of the report I got? You better come on, somebody. Do I stop praising God because I lost my job? Do I stop praising God because I had an accident? Do I stop praising God because they're getting ready to take my house? Do I stop praising God?
No. And I saw God do some wonderful things in my family's life, in the life of my family, just as it relates to the health of just my husband, my spouse, and just saw him just move all those mountains. He just kind of moved them, like, let me just park this way right here. Let me just show you what you guys really can do with me, in me, through me.
Right.
So.
And the thing about it is,
I can't, you can't even, and the bottom line, when that happens, you can't keep that to yourself. No. You really can't keep it to yourself. It's not for you. That right there is for somebody else.
Right. We don't have ownership of it, Jackie.
No.
We don't have ownership of it. You went through that so you could share that information with somebody else. Because it's somebody that's going through the same thing that you're going through, but sometimes we don't want to share. What is that about? Why don't we want to share some of the bad things that we're going through? Well, number one, sometimes we say, well, I don't want anybody to know my business, so I'm not going to share this information with you. I'm not comfortable. But let me tell you something. God will allow you.
Pride will do that.
Right. That's what it is. It's pride.
Pride will do that.
Right. And the
Pride
thing
will do that
is sometimes God will lay us flat on our backs. Well, we can do nothing else but cry out to God and say, God, whatever you want me to do, I'll do. Wherever you want me to go, I'll go. Whatever you want me to speak, I'll speak. God, it's me. And I am the one, send me, I'll go.
Yeah. Just waiting for he's waiting for your yes.
He's waiting on our yes. The Lord is waiting on
receive. So, why aren't we asking more? Why aren't we asking more especially when we get in these mountaintop, when you don't feel like you see any way out?
Right.
Why are we not asking?
And the thing about it is, where you don't see a way, God has already made the way. And even Judy talked about that this morning. I asked God to partner with me.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that was powerful.
That was powerful. I'm asking God to partner with me in this thing, ladies. I'm asking God to partner with me in my sorrow. My sister girlfriend is not doing well, so God, partner with me. Partner with me in my business. I lost my home. Partner with me, oh God. I need you in this thing, God, because I can't do it by myself. But if you become my partner, you better shut up. If you become my
that was all in itself, right? That was a movement in itself.
In itself.
That right there was a movement all by itself.
That's what I'm
If you would just partner with me.
Partner with me, God. God, I can't do this.
Just partner with me.
I can go over there and get sister girlfriend. I can do that. But God, I need you as my partner. I need my Lord and Savior as my partner. If I have you as my partner, the sky is the limit. Why are we not asking those questions, ladies? Why are we not telling God that we need everything that
Teacher Rose. Hey, oh yeah. I love it. I love it. I love it when God has moved us, because, when we have computers pause and we just like, hey, we going, keep it moving. Wait
a minute, even though, we're coming in this thing on Zoom, we're coming in and out, but God already knows. God has got this thing today. So sometimes we don't even worry about Zoom because God is worried about Zoom. No, he already knows that we're on a movement. So if you could,
because when you come in and talk to us, it's going to be real. It's going to be real. It's going to be real. It's going to be raw. And as you come and get to know us, even more, you will see.
Right. And so
he has a purpose, and we're driven.
And we are purpose driven. And so until we get to that point as women to get on our knees and tell God, I ain't feeling good about this thing. I need you to come into my life. Oh God, I know you could change it. Oh God, within a twinkling of an eye. That's when God sees your humbleness, your humility, and you're really ready to walk in the way that God wants you to walk. But it's a process. It's a process to getting there. And so the who wants to be processed?
Oh, yes.
Who wants to be processed? That means that you may have to go through the fire. That means that some of my loved ones may get sick. That may mean that I might lose my job. That may mean I might lose my husband. But God still processed me anyway. Process me while I'm in the muck and the mire. I don't want God to process me on the way out. I want him to process me while I'm in that thing.
Ooh, all right. All right.
That's the way I want to be processed.
Okay.
That's the way I want the muck and the mire and the yucky stuff that I'm going through right now. Just process me right there.
Right.
Don't wait, ladies, until you come out of it. Let them process you right there. Go on through the fire.
While you in the raggedy, right in the raggedy season.
While you in the raggedy taggedy stage. While you in the
raggedy season.
Process me. Process me. Because when God processes you, then you come out as pure as gold. You've learned some things, you've been through some things, and now you're seasoned. And now I can tell that next sister girl, hey, this is what I went through. I'm not afraid, and I'm unapologetically unafraid and unashamed to speak my truth. Because see, that's the problem. Sometimes we don't want to speak it. We want to hide it. We want to sugarcoat it.
The secrets, yeah. And we're embarrassed about it, you know. Oh yeah.
That's it. We're embarrassed about it. Why are you embarrassed about it? Girl, you better stop. Why are you embarrassed?
Think about you think, you know, like the same lady who she's married again, but Carrie was, you know, she was very open about it. She says, I was in an abusive relationship. She says, oh my goodness. And I was so afraid to tell people about that. I was why would I be afraid? You know, I'm the one getting my butt kicked. Why would I be afraid? But God, you know, and she's moved right on through that. And you know, like I said, she is anxious to tell her story and I'm anxious to hear it. But yeah, he will move.
We got to be able to tell our stories
right through those things.
Different.
Yeah. Doesn't look.
Those are the things that are going to assist other people. Because, you know, let's face it, people don't have a heaven or a hell to put you in, you know?
Right. That's true. That's good. That's good.
That's good stuff. And that's real stuff. People don't have a heaven or a hell to put you in. And let's face it, some women are waiting to hear what you got to say. They're waiting on your realness. They're waiting on you to say, yeah, I was abused. Yeah, I was. And I stayed in that thing because I loved him, but he didn't love me. People want to hear those conversations, and they do want to hear how you got over it and how you got around it, how you got through that mountaintop experience one bite at a time. That's how I do. Now, some people stay into those things and they don't want to talk about it because they stayed so long. They don't want to talk about it. They don't want to share it because they feel as though
and the fears too. You know, you got fear that will trap them as well. I think we talked about that last time of, you know, how am I going to get by? How am I going to get through this? You know, who's gonna, and if you got kids, to add kids on top of that, you know, what's going to happen to my kids? And so you got that fear that traps and keeps them in that same situation over and over again. And it's not good for anybody. You know, it's not healthy at all. But fear will definitely do that.
Fear will definitely keep you into a relationship, because it's just like you said the other week, last week, how am I going to pay my bills? How am I going to feed my children? How, you know, I need a roof over these kids' head and I have more than one child. Maybe I have 4 or 5 children, you know, and I'm trying to all figure it out. Well, baby, while you try to figure out, God has already worked it out. We just have to have the faith, not in ourselves, but in an awesome God, that God wants better and bigger for us. God wants more for us, you know, in this thing. So if we do that, then God will always be by our side, but he needs us to make the first step.
Yeah.
And once we make the first step, God, I promise you, will make 2. And those things will be history in our life, but it's still part of who we are. It's still part of our story. It's still part of the information that we share with someone else, because we want to let them know that we're not alone.
Yeah.
You're
Right.
not alone in what you go through.
Right.
It's
Right.
somebody else that has gone through that, you
Mhm.
know. But what you do is you pick up your bed and you walk
That's true.
1 foot at a time. Is it going to be easy? I never said it was easy. It was never easy for me.
Yeah. We had a young lady who she's parents, her mom was really upset with her because she got the courage to tell her mom that all the secrets that I was keeping from you, I didn't want to hurt your feelings, but it had to do with your husband. It had to do with your husband. And so now I want to tell my story. So when she told her story to her mom that he was abusing her, you know, she the mother told her not to ever tell anybody that, not ever tell anyone that again. So mother silenced her even more.
Wow.
And when she came to the retreat, she shared with us and discovered that she had another whole aunts and aunties. I mean aunties and you know, some people were like, hey, you can be my daughter, I'll be your godmother. So she had other people to help her, empower her. And she was also overweight at the time. Now she is a fitness guru. You should see her now. And she goes out and she's telling that story too. That's another one that I said it would be great. You know, she's telling her stories as well. But she went through a tough time when she shared her story. So how about that? When you share your story and you know, you're shut down, and not only in your family, but you could be shut down in the church, depending on what kind of stories you're sharing.
In the church, we talked about that. If the church should be the place where you should be able to share. But one of the things that we got to understand, the church is made up of humanness.
Yes.
We are in human form. We are in human state. We are people subject to mistakes.
That's true.
And so we got to understand it doesn't stop, you know, with the church, because God will bring you that person that you need to support you in the difficult days ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've made some really, you know, bad mistakes in the church. Mm-hmm. Sometimes when you get church hurt, people don't want to go back.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, people
not only that they don't want to go back, they're not going back.
Right. They're not going.
I'm just being honest with you. They're just not going back.
Right. And so we have to have those sisters to stand in the gap for us, you
Standing
know.
In the gap, yeah.
Right, to stand in the gap when we've been church hurt, when we have been slung to the ground, when people say we're not good enough, smart enough. So what is your mountaintop experience? Whether it's any of that, we know that God knows, sees, and cares. So it doesn't stop there. The only thing that stops us is us.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And the nice thing about it is when you do have that mountaintop experience, you know, your life has been, you know, when you really, really embrace it for what it is, your life will be changed forever. You know, it's just changed. You just feel it, you know, you feel that heavy weight coming off of your shoulders when, you know, when I'm talking to young women and they're just like, you know, the relationship that I was in, it's not serving me. I'm out. Right. You know, I'm out. Right. Or whatever that was going on, you know, that dream that I was going to pursue, it's on. I'm getting with that dream, you know, that I held this dream off because other people didn't see it for me. I see it for me. I see it for myself.
Right.
And then they get right back on track. So, I mean, they were just the stories. Okay, I felt like this, but now I'm coming out of that. I'm out of that shell. I feel value. I feel the value. I feel the worth. I know that, you know, God is going to provide for me no matter what. Right.
And sometimes, like I said at the beginning, we have to have those mountaintop experiences. Are those mountaintop experiences easy? Are they always good? Do they make us feel good?
Oh, no.
They're supposed to.
Oh, no.
Come on, Jackie, those experiences are not supposed to make us feel good and smushy on the inside.
No,
Because
I didn't. No.
come on, Jackie, we would never move. We would never move. We would stay in the same place, doing the same thing with the same people in the same way, expecting different results, and we get nothing.
It's called comfort. You would be comfortable right where you are. You would not push it. You just, hey, you just be sitting right there. But there's something that rises in your spirit that lets you know that this is not the way things should be.
Right.
I am better than this. I'm going to go for more than this.
Right. Sometimes we have to be taken out of our comfort zone by any means necessary.
Mm-hmm.
That's just real.
Mm-hmm.
Because we sat on the space on the bench too long.
Mm-hmm.
It's time to move. It's time to move. That bench has gotten dusty.
Yeah.
And you need to get up, girl, and you need to move because there's something that God has out there for you, but you're going to miss it because of what somebody said.
Yeah. You're right. You're right. You're so right.
Right. And it's like, so that mountaintop experience that you had is all in vain. So I went through all of what I went through, and it's all in vain because of what somebody said and what somebody did to me. But the thing about it is we have to get empowered. There has to be a space in time where we're empowered by what happened to us. I like that. I like that. Because once we get empowered by the situations that have pulled us down, the situations that have drained us, the things that people have said about us that weren't good, now we can turn it around.
Use it. Yes.
For our good.
For your good. And that's the empowerment piece right there.
That's it. That's it.
That's what you want to walk away from the mountaintop.
And I
love it because what I want folks to understand is the conversations that we're having. You guys get to get in on the conversation because we have these conversations all the time. So we're just sharing from the heart, guys, just sharing from the heart. And I love it. I really, really love it. So,
right. And that was basically my last question. The takeaways from this mountaintop experience.
Yeah.
You didn't just come into this mountaintop experience just to be coming into it.
Oh, no.
Because once you come into it, your life will never be the same when you exit out of it. You know, that was supposed to be the same thing for the people in the Exodus. When Moses led the people to the promised land and they were murmuring and complaining about everything. But the whole premise of that is for them to see a different way. God wanted something different for them, as well as God wants something different for us as women. So when you go through these mountaintop experience, we shouldn't be the same way as we came in when we go out of it.
That's true. And get this, when I asked my friend Carrie, how did she feel? What was her feeling after going to the mountaintop? And then she says, I came out and I was empowered. The word that you just used, she says, I was empowered. She says, I just felt so good. Just, it's a life-changing experience for her. So you're right. You just hit it. You come out different. You come out different than you went in. You know, I'm not that same girl that I used to be even 10 years ago. I'm not that same woman.
Right.
You know,
right. You can't wrap the okie doke around me like you did before. You can come up and say anything to me and think that I'm going to accept it the way I did.
Right.
You're not going to say anything to me, and you're not going to say anything about me that is not encouraging to me.
Exactly.
Uplifting to me, that is not pushing me progressively forward, because I'm not that girl.
All right. Not that girl. We're not that girl. We're not that girl.
Not that girl. And we are not walking the same. We're not talking the same. We're not looking the same. And we are empowering each other once we go through these mountaintop experiences. So the last thing I have to say, don't be afraid. And if you are afraid, do it afraid.
Yeah. Do it anyway.
Do it anyway.
Do it anyway.
Do it.
I said, do it anyway.
Right. Do it anyway. Because God
anyway.
wants to give you double for the trouble, ladies. I know that. I know that to be true. Been there, done that.
Girl, I know I'll never forget my sophomore year away from home and my mother calling and them telling me that you just lost your house. You lost, I mean, everything. 3 pets that were in it too. But guess what? My mother and my grandmother, Mama Dia, they were fine. My mother said, you finish. You're up there at Bradley. You finished. You finished. We got this. We're going to be okay.
That's it.
And so when you lose it all, when you lose everything, you know, and you can come back and you see that, hey, he's covering everything. He's got it all. He's got it all. When I wanted to be sad, it's like, no. We got this. We got this. You just finish. You finish what you started. Finish what you started.
That's it. You know what? We got to have those big mamas and those me moms, you know, and
Madias.
And those Madias and all of those kind of people in our life, because they keep us grounded and focused on the mark. You needed to be there. You needed to finish school. You needed to do what you do because your mama saw greater in you. Sometimes we don't see it great in ourselves, but mama saw it in you. Big mama saw it in you. Me mom saw it in you. My dear saw it in you. So everybody needs a my dear, a stand in the gap woman to say,
yeah.
And yes, you will.
Everybody need a Madia, baby.
Everybody needs
everybody. As they say, everybody need one.
Everybody does. Understand that, because these are the women that will push you when you don't want to be pushed.
Ooh, girl.
When you don't want to be pushed. I remember my spiritual mother. We got a little bit more time. I remember my spiritual mother. I was in my 40s when I really started getting into church. And she told me that I was going to be a Sunday school teacher. I'm like, who you talking to? You know, well, who you talking to being a Sunday? I'm not doing none of that. I'm doing church administration, and that's about all I'm doing. That lady told me, well, I want you to do this. I want you to read the Sunday book. Right. I want you to read the Sunday school book, and in the midst of it, I want you to come back and teach a Sunday school class. Okay, I did what she told me to do. And when I came back, girl, I came back with a whole book. She's like, what are you doing with this whole book? You told me to read through it. I didn't tell you to write a book. That is not what I told you to do. I told you to come in here, read the Sunday school book, jot down some things, and then present it to the people. Now, you know, I didn't want to do that either. But by the time that my spiritual mother told me to do all of these things, girl, it was so easy to do. And that's the reason why I'm a Sunday school teacher today. I didn't tell her no, but I did not want to do it because I saw no value in that. Little did I know I would become Reverend Rose.
I share that same kind of testimony as far as thinking that, oh no, I'm with kids all day. I mean, I'm on the courts or I'm on the in the classroom. Oh no, God doesn't want me to teach Sunday school. And no way. And that's what I said. I said that. And I just ran in a circle until I came all the way around the circle and said yes. And that was like the best yes ever. But I was running, girl, because I'm just like, oh no, I know he don't want me doing this.
God,
that was me.
God wants our yes. We say no all day long. But the thing about it is, what has God called you to do that you just put it on the shelf? Oh God, you know, it'll be there later. But the thing about it is, at the end of the day, will it be there later?
Ooh, will it be there later?
Will it be there later? Because the Bible tells me that if you don't do what is required of you, God will get somebody else.
But check this out, sis.
Someone else.
Yeah, but check this out, sis. What mountaintop experience are you avoiding?
Oh, that's a good one.
What are you, what are you avoiding?
What are we avoiding? I mean, there are some things in life, I love that, Jackie, that we just don't want to do. It seems like it's too hard. It's too much work. I don't feel like doing that. What are you asking me to do it for? Let the other person do it. We come, I mean, is that not a Moses experience?
Yes.
Is that not a Moses experience? Moses
I'm
had
loving it. Yes.
50 million things that he could not do because of his tongue.
Yes.
But I want you to know, ladies, God will rectify that. What will he do? He'll send a sister girl with you, like Jackie.
Mm-hmm.
That will cover.
He'll rise up, baby. He'll rise somebody up. He'll resurrect. We talk about that a little later. Resurrecting your dreams. He'll resurrect you.
That's it. That's it. That's it. Yes. I mean, God is so awesome that he doesn't allow you to give the excuses anymore. This is what he says. I'm going to raise up and bring Aaron, your brother, and then I'm bring Miriam, your sister, along with you on this ride. So we have no more excuses. Mm-hmm. So Jackie, that's all I have.
That's good. That's good. It's like sitting in the living room, y'all. This is what we doing. Just conversating.
We are sister to sister. This is Jackie Greer Buchanan. I'm Reverend Rose. Thank you, thank you, thank you,
guys.
Bottom of our heart. You know, we know that this video may not be clear, but you wanted us in the raw. And I tell you, this gets better over time. So thank you for being with us. And we are sister to sister. See you next week.
All right. Bye-bye, guys. See you.